Welcome back to the What's Your Take podcast. I'm Caesar. Et tu, Brute. And I'm here with a man that needs no introduction, but he's gonna introduce himself.
You ain't gonna introduce me?
No, I'm not.
Well, they know it. It's me.
They know it.
Prime time, Neon, Dion, it's me. The bag of money.
I think your phone is ringing. It might be your agent.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, talk to me.
He does this often. One moment.
Yeah. All right, yeah. I got you. I'm wrapping something up. All right. My bad. That's the money calling.
That's the money.
Calling.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the What's Your Take podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We got a good one in store. Ain't that right, Caesar?
Et tu, Brute.
All right, today we getting into the last two games against Florida Tech and North Greenville. Then we're gonna look at the upcoming game of West Florida, and then we got the spooky hot stuff this go around. So let's get right into it. The Valdosta State Blazers 2 weeks ago took on Florida Tech. Caesar wasn't there, but I was. Primetime was in attendance, so we'll get into the game review. If y'all didn't know, Florida Tech lost 55-28. Kind of the goal, roundabout, easy win. But that first quarter was probably the first shootout the Blazers had seen all season long. So what'd they do? They answered, and the defense stepped up. They ended up shutting them out. And then the third quarter only allowed one more touchdown in the second half. Buzz had a career night, ended the night in the VSU record books with the most receiving yards in Blazer history, with 246 yards on 10 catches, and he got a tub. Shout out to Mr. Brian Sons. And one more thing, Rogan Wheels.
He ran out of the stadium, didn't he?
He ran out of the stadium. We got a video for that. We'll let the video play. Rogan going 69 yards. He also threw for 338 that game. I mean, not many takeaways from me that game other than the defense stepping up. But I think Justin, he was at the North Greenville game. My boy made the trip. Go ahead, tell us what you saw in that game, because that was a thriller.
It wasn't really a thriller. It was, I don't know if they were still high off of homecoming or, whatever was going on, that maybe they were looking at the bye week this week, but they almost lost. That was the closest game that I've seen for the Blazers since Ferris State. And North Greenville is no Ferris State. Let me let you know that right now. They were trailing at halftime for the first time since September, not last year, 2 years ago. They failed to score in the first half against Albany State in that 29-12 loss. 2 years ago, they failed to score in the first half. This past weekend, 9-0 trailing. It is worth noting, 9-0, 3 field goals by the Crusaders, not touchdowns, 9-0 and 21-0. That's two different things if you go into the half. Sure. 21 down instead of 9. So that kind of left the door open. Rogan had a really uncharacteristic game. It was his first time being in South Carolina in his collegiate career, which is his home state, and had 1 interception in the first half, had 1 interception in the second half, and then he had a fumble as well. So it was really tight in the contest. The Blazers had to play from behind for the first time in a long time. I think they were trailing against Delta for maybe like 3 points or something like that. But then, as you would expect, the national champs picked themselves up off the mat. And I need the Rocky theme music playing right now. I need it playing because that's what the North Greenville band did, and this is how the champs responded. 4th and 2, 58 seconds left in the game. Who are you going to go to? Rogan Hill, Rogan Wills, Rogan Chill, Rogan Wells, whatever you want to call him. Rogan got the ball on a 4th and 2. He took the snap. He was flushed out of the pocket because of the pressure. Took off. He got almost tackled right at that 4th and 2 marker. I lost my breath for a second. You'll hear it in the video, but Rogan took off. He broke that tackle, saw defenders to his left, saw defenders to his right, and what did he do? Sprinted to the end zone for the game-winning touchdown, the eventual game-winning touchdown. Corey Roberts had an interception to seal it up, but that was the closest game that the Blazers. That was the closest game that the Blazers have had in a while.
Yeah.
I know you weren't there. Were you following along with the
well,
game?
definitely, of course.
They're down in the fourth quarter, unfamiliar territory,
Man.
but the heart of a champion. I mean, what can you say? You come back, you make the plays that are needed, and now they're, limping into the bye week with all of their injuries and everything that's going on with the team. So,
I mean, Rogan, though. I mean, we got to just talk about that man being a hero. You're my hero! A savior. That was unbelievable. It was like the slowest, fastest 50, 60-yard run I've seen.
So he's running. It was 40 yards. He's running, but when he got his ankle grabbed right there at the fourth down marker, I kind of lost my breath. I was like, okay, maybe he'll break this tackle and then get maybe 10 more yards, and then he'll just try to go down so they can get more plays off, because it was only 58 ticks left. And, maybe he fumbles if he keeps running. Maybe he, gets hurt and now time is running off or anything like that. But no, I talked to him after the game, and he said with no, he didn't even have to think about it. He said, there's no way I was going down. I was going to take that hit, and I was getting into the end zone. So David White made a good block down the field. It seemed like when he first got hit, everybody stopped on both sides of the ball. The linemen stopped, his receivers stopped running their routes and everything. But shout out to David White for having the presence of mind to get down the field, and he's really the reason why Rogan got in with that final block. Rogan was able to cut right behind him and get in. So
Speed man.
Yeah, shout out to David White.
Now, speaking of that game, it's kind of like after Florida Tech, it was the first half was something uncharacteristic. It was a back and forth. Like they actually showed up, Florida Tech did, and then the second half was they stomped on them. Then North Greenville, it's like the whole game is a struggle now. Now, I mean, leading up to the West Florida game, what do you think these last two games are saying for the team? I mean,
well, I said it in my Pick Six column with the VDT. It's live now.
Tune in.
Definitely tune in.
Times.
These last two games are so critical. They're against VSU is the top team in the conference. West Florida is number 2.
Right.
West Georgia is number 3. There's not a lot of room in between those 3 teams. Now, of course, West Georgia is having a kind of weird season. They already have 2 conference losses on their record. One of those against West Florida, but that game in Carrollton, they're not going to care. Right. They're going to be jockeying for playoffs. They need a win, and what better way than to do it against the Blazers? Now, West Florida, on the other hand,
hey, they're tough.
They're a team that's kind of looking in the mirror like, hey, we're kind of tough, man. We're blowing teams out. They beat Delta 48-3 a few weeks back. They beat West Georgia 30-2.
One of the top defenses in the nation, number 1 against the pass.
30-2 against West Georgia in Carrollton. Just to kind of put that out there, that's the type of team that the Argos have. And again, I say it every year. I feel like I have to defend these guys every year. This is a team that's only a few years removed from a national championship run.
Yeah, you do bring it up every year.
I do, because they're a tough team. I mean, listen, that offense, that defense looks completely different from years past.
Right.
They have what it takes to get there. They know they have what it takes to get there. The only blemish on their record is a non-conference loss against Carson Newman on the first Thursday of the season.
Well, Justin, you're going to bring us into our next segment. Let's get into your favorite, the word association, spooky edition.
I don't want to do it. I'm nervous.
I'll go first. Thank you, Groot. I got bones.
Do you need the Jeopardy theme music to?
Right. So first thing that comes to my head when I think of bones is the backbone of this Blazer team. Logan Wells.
Oh, okay. I was going to
Leandre
say
Gallimore,
elaborate.
Nick Moss. We'll see you. Get well soon. Corey Roberts. Backbone. Solid pieces that are going to be here. You feel me?
I think you could bring up a good point with them being here, because they're all juniors. They have one more season.
Yeah,
after
they have
this.
time here.
Regardless of what happens this season, obviously they're trending towards another championship run, but.
And of course, I'm leaving some names off, but Bones, the backbone. I got them running the table.
That's another topic for another day.
So I guess.
Let's see what I have. Ghost. I'm not gonna lie. When I got this, I thought of Power. I mean, that's what I
Ghost.
thought of. But if we have to relate it to VSU, let's see. I could go a few different ways with this. I could go they ghost teams, you know, the way they kind of just score and score and score.
Mm-hmm.
I could go some teams look like they've seen a ghost when they face the Black Swarm defense. That's something that I could do.
Ghost.
But I think I'm gonna stick with Power actually. And if I curve it around and make a play off of Power, which is a play off of Ghost, I'm gonna say the Blazers don't even know how much power they have. Being on the sidelines in North Greenville, being there, seeing that team, there was no panic. This is a team that is down. They're losing. This team doesn't lose. They're losing in the fourth quarter with 1 minute remaining at that. And there's no panic. They're rolling. They're ready to go. They know what they have to do. And then that one play happens. And then a second play. And now they're undefeated still. I mean, they don't even understand the power that they have. I think if they can tap into themselves and tap into what they can really do, and it goes from coaching all the way down to, I'll even say, the training staff. If everybody buys into the goal, if everybody realizes just how good they could really be, sky's the limit.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
That's how you flip a word that you don't have anything for into something. Making
good redemption.
Something out of nothing. What's your no, it's your old Twitter bio. Making life gave you lemon, so you made lemon lime.
Shout out Kodak. Now, Justin, we touched on the West Florida game a little bit. We'll talk on that, but coming up is the bye week. Now, I mean, bye weeks are kind of like, it's just a bye week, but how significant is this bye week coming up before the West Florida game and West Georgia?
This is another thing that I hit on in my Pick 6 column. This bye week means a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with the remaining schedule for the Blazers. You talk about the backbone of this team, and you brought up Nick Moss. Nick Moss is out. So guys are having to step up that they may not be accustomed to having to, play 30 minutes in a game, 40 minutes in a game. Like, these guys, they're not used to that. So with these guys seeing extra minutes, this bye week gives them more time to get prepared, more time to learn their formations, learn their assignments. This bye week also, going off of Nick Moss and the other injured Blazers, there are a lot of guys who have nicks and knacks. Coach told me this past weekend that Stephen Williams didn't travel with the team. He's the starting middle linebacker. And he didn't even travel to North Greenville. So this bye week means a lot. And then even outside of football, we have to understand, and we get it because we're here.
We're here.
These are college students. They need time to kind of refresh and let go of, I have a meeting today, I have practice today, I have this. Like, we're getting to the crucial part of the semester, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if these players cannot focus on their academics, there will be no national championship for them because they won't be eligible,
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So that's
a good point right there.
These are really all things that kind of play into this bye week. Of course, the rest, learning your role, but also just really taking a step back and enjoying college life.
So you're on a roll today. Now, of course, I second everything you said.
Man.
But another thing I'm looking at is this bye week is very timely, obviously, and you get more time to not only heal up, but you get more time to watch film and learn about this West Florida team. Now, I mean, if I'm Coach Goff, if I'm the Blazers, I'm really looking at more film in West Florida than I am in West Georgia for this bye week, of course.
But it's close.
I mean, I know they're coming up, but
I'd
at least, I'm focused on West Florida. I mean, like I said,
100%.
number one passing defense in the nation. They only average 10 points a game defensively. Number one red zone defense as well. I mean, they do a lot of things well on that side of the ball. So I'm very excited for that West Florida game, and it's at home. So I feel like, the bye week gives you time to come back from South Carolina, that nail biter, let you cool out, get a little trick or treat, a little candy, you know.
I also think it's worth noting about the West Florida game that was the game where I really started believing in this team last year. On the road in Pensacola, I was at that game, not covering it. I actually just had a chance to go to the game, and seeing that team again, they were down and they shut out West Florida 21 points over the last. They scored 21 and didn't allow them any points over the last 16 or so minutes. Just that team just kind of was different. So West Florida's gonna remember that. I'm sure they're gonna have vengeance in their minds when they come here, and they're gonna try to do kind of the same thing that the Blazers did to them at their crib this season. So, yeah, it's worth noting.
Worth noting. Now let's get into the hot stuff. We don't have a hot take. We're gonna get into a little hot topic real quick. It is Halloween, Justin.
It is.
But Justin's not a big fan of Halloween.
I am not.
It's unbelievable because it gives us time to be a kid again. I mean, dress up, candy, movies. I get to stay up late. Why do you hate on Halloween so much, Justin?
I mean, people just kind of act out of character during Halloween. Like other holidays.
You're supposed to get into another character.
But, okay, these characters, they're fine because they're playful, whatever you want to say. With other people, they start to get kind of crazy with it. Like, have you seen the video of the clowns going around scaring people and stuff? That's not cool. If I'm walking down the street, I don't want somebody with red paint dropping from their mouths or whatever food coloring dropping from their mouths, running towards me trying to scare. No, just go over there. I don't need that in my life. So I'm not a Halloween fan. I'll wear that badge with pride, whatever. I don't really care. It is what it is. Obviously, Primetime loves it.
Neon,
he
loves
love
it. That shine. We love to
man.
go out to the little Halloween costume parties. Yes, sir. Now, Justin,
Not this guy.
Before we send off, if you had to go trick-or-treating and only get one candy in that bag, what would it be?
Easy. Kit Kat.
Get out of here. Reese Cups.
Okay, you with chocolate still, though.
Yeah?
So why'd you say get out of here?
It's a Kit.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Anyways, that wraps up.
Not the
What's your
mini
take?
Kit Kats. Wait, I can't let us end on that. Not the mini Kit Kats, ladies and gentlemen. I need the big ones. The big ones. Anyway, I'm sorry. Dion.
Thank you for tuning in to What's Your Take podcast, Spooky Edition. I'm Neon Dion,
Et tu, Brute.
and we'll see you next time.